to Teen 1D, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about uh, living with diabetes away from home and kind of how to prep for living with diabetes away from home and like for trips, either trips or like college life, dorm life, or like a summer camp where you're without your parents. So this video is for people who are like either going on a trip where they're going to be away from their parents, or a summer camp, or going away from college, like prepping for college. And I'm going to be giving my own experiences and sharing my own experiences based off a month I spent at a summer program at UCSD. So first, starting with like packing for a trip or packing for time away from home. You should bring double whatever you think you're gonna plan. So for example, I went for 1 month, but I brought 2 months worth of supplies. And when it comes to T1D, I think it's better to overpack than like underpack or just pack the right amount because you never know how much you'll need to use. Like sometimes, if you're really unlucky, I don't know, a pod could just stop working after like a day, or it could stop working back to back. Like I've had 3 pods like fail back to back at some point, so you might need to use. So for me, even though I didn't have to, even though I pretty much only used 1 month worth of supplies, uh, bringing 2 months worth is still bringing double is still good because you never know what might happen, and you might like I don't know, insulin could just break or like yeah, you could just go bad and not work. So a lot of things can happen. So I recommend definitely bringing double what you bring. And some things I brought are like extra pods and CGMs, extra sensors, but then also patch adhesives for hot weather, and not just for hot weather because it was pretty hot. UCSD, but also like the pool or ocean. If you're planning on like going to the pool, ocean, or if, in general, if your Omnipod patch is just not really good and doesn't attach really well, I definitely recommend bringing adhesive for hot weather, and also a liquid adhesive remover because since you put the patch on, you're gonna need to remove it, and removing it is really hard and it can be painful if you don't have an adhesive remover. So I like to bring a liquid adhesive remover to help remove it. Also, like needles, pens, insulin pens, like to be able to carry them around. Especially because I had like classes around. Instead of being like regular pens, whatever, I would just bring an insulin pen with me. Regular needles, I would bring an insulin pen with me and to like class. So then, if my blood sugar went high over there for a long period of time, I would just needle instead of having to use an actual needle. I would just use that pen. Also, I would recommend bringing a ton of low snacks or glucose tablets because I feel like I don't know about like specifically in my case, I had a lot more lows during my time. Maybe it was because I was like worse at managing it, but I think overall my blood sugar was better even maybe. It wasn't necessarily worse by myself. Maybe this is just luck or whatever. But especially my average blood sugar was lower. Maybe because I had a lot of lows though. But I definitely had way more lows. So I recommend kind of bring things just in case for and planning for stuff that might go wrong, such as having more lows. So bringing more low snacks because I almost ran out and I had to go get stuff from Target. So yeah, that's what I recommend bringing, and I recommend putting them on like a well organized box or something. So I just pretty much put it in a cardboard box with like a lid, and then put it in my suitcase. So everything's like in a spot and everything's well organized instead of like throwing everything around and then risking things getting lost and not knowing where things are. Moving on to like dorm life and like being independent by yourself, I like the biggest tip I can give you is like to be open to like your dorm mates and like the people in like your dorm or suite. So pretty much like tell them about your condition, like tell them about like the alarms that might go off, and like don't try to hide anything because like they're already gonna realize during the night because you're definitely gonna have like a low blood sugar during the time you're there, right? If you're there for like more than like a week or two, so especially if you're like a college student living there for an entire year, they're definitely gonna know that you're gonna have lows because you're gonna hear your alarms go out at night. So I definitely recommend telling them so they don't get mad at you, like why do you wake me up at night or whatever. So then they just know and everything's clear. So yeah, just try not to hide things, as it'll make things harder for you and for them, and it'll probably could potentially like have a strain on your relationship as well. So yeah, I'd recommend telling them. And I also recommend definitely not like turning off your alarms at night because you're like the only one that can wake yourself up. And like if your alarms don't work or if they're too low even, then like it could be really dangerous for yourself because you're the only one that can wake yourself up. You can't rely on your parents being like, oh, his blood sugar is low and like waking you up. So definitely like turn on like your alarms. And if you are like a heavy sleeper, have like a vibrating watch or like what I did. I'm pretty a heavy sleeper, so I made sure I have my phone like right next to me while sleeping. I know it's like not recommended because like you don't want to be on your phone right before sleeping or whatever. But I didn't like look at my phone. I just had my phone next to me while sleeping. So then when the alarm came off, it would not only vibrate near me, so then I would like wake up, but also it would click a sound, so then I could wake up easier since I'm a heavy sleeper. So yeah, I definitely would recommend doing a lot of those things I just mentioned. Also, for me specifically, I had to walk to my classes. It was like 15 minutes, and I had to do it 4 times a day. And I know you might not walk to your classes, so this might be not relevant to you. But yeah, even if you're doing any physical activity to get to your classes, like biking or walking, um, then I definitely recommend to like take into account that your blood sugar might drop. And so if you have IOB, I recommend to like bring a snack with you, or if you don't have insulin on you acting, and if you're about to eat. So for example, for me, the times I was walking was like right after my meals to class, because like I was walking to my meal and then back for my meal. So then what I did is I just bolus a little bit less for each meal. But if you're not like eating a meal, but you just have like some insulin on body, then I recommend just like turning on activity mode and bringing a snack with you. So yeah, especially if you're going to a program like this, or if you're just walking your classes to college, I recommend doing one of these things I just mentioned, depending on just your situation. Um, and like overall, I feel like it's not like that like hard, like living with yourself with diabetes. It's just like a change that you have to like account, I guess, and like you have to like realize that you don't have your parents with you, so you have to like do everything yourself and like be on top of things. Also, especially with like the nighttime lows, as it can get dangerous if you don't wake up and your parents don't wake you up. So, but I also would definitely recommend like keeping your parents in touch while you're away from them. Like, make sure not let them worry. Like if your blood sugar is like low, even if it's like late at night, to text them and be like, oh, like I ate something or something, so they don't worry at night. Because you don't want them like worrying all night if your blood sugar is okay, and like freaking out. So yeah, I definitely recommend keep them in touch, not just on like lows, but like how you're doing daily, so they don't worry about it. So yeah, overall, I think like college life or like dorm life with like T1D is like it's different and you have more responsibility. But I feel like it's not that hard and like it's like you should be able to manage it if you like do the right things and like if you're on top of it and you prepare well as well. So overall, I think you should prep a lot. Not be afraid to communicate with your roommates. Keep alarms on always, and also like keep in touch with your family members as well. So yeah, that's about it for